Good afternoon, everyone. So we are the group 4 and our lesson is all about media and cyber or digital literacy. So in this video, we will tackle about media literacy, with what media literacy is not, challenges to media literacy education, digital literacy, information literacy within digital literacy, socio-economic literacy, literacy within digital literacy, digital natives, and lastly, challenges to digital literacy education. Now, let's proceed to my topic, which is media literacy. So, it is defined in several ways by some scholars and educators. One of them is Off the Hide. So, according to Off the Hide, media literacy is the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and communicate message in wide variety of form. So you are media literate if you have the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and communicate message through forms like magazine, newspaper, radio, or social media, and many more ways. You are media literate if you can convey a message through that variety of forms. Next is according to Chris and Potter, 1998. So like what Off the Hide defined the media literacy, it is also the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create message through a variety of context naman. So according to Chris and Potter, so when you have ability to create message or communicate through a context, you are media literate. So for example, you are reading an article or a statement, and then while you are reading it and analyzing it, you create a new idea through that context or through that statement. So that's the way you become a media literate, according to Chris and Potter. Next is according to Hobbes, 1998. So posits that it is a term used by modern scholars to refer to the process of critically analyzing and learning to create one's own message in a print, audio, video, and multimedia. So you are media literate if you can create your own thoughts. You can create own thoughts, message, ideas through print, audio, video, or multimedia. So for example, you generate new ideas based on what you see or what you watch on a television or in an art or in a news. Or another example is you can recognize which is the real news and fake news on social media, since nowadays fake news is rampant in social media, and we must be media literate for us to know if what we see or what we read on a social media is a fake news or a real news. Media literacy. So in a simplest sense, you are media literacy is the ability to identify different types of media and understand the message they are communicating. So if you have the ability to recognize various forms of media or ability to decipher or interpret the message they are conveying or communicating, you are media literate. Exact type of media: television, radio, newspaper, magazine, books, and flyers. Next, according to Boyd, 2014, media literacy education began to United States and United Kingdom as direct result of war propaganda in 1930s and the rise of media advertising. So, media was being used to manipulate the perspective and subsequent action of those who expose it. So, thereby giving media literacy education to people to educate them on how to detect the biases, falsehood, and half-truths that is depicted into print, audios, radio, and television. So we are aware what is the media and what is media is. They offer us knowledge we required, but then yet we must not be complacent, since not everything we see, we hear, or we read on social media is true, because there is bias in media. Off the Hide, 1993, and Hobbes, 1998 reported At the 1993 Media Literacy National Leadership Conference, U.S. educators could not agree on the range of appropriate goals for media education or scope of appropriate instructional techniques. So, understanding the why behind media communication is essential to the heart of media literacy today, because media communication today can be easily manipulate someone's perspective on the topic, both political and commercial one. So, despite of the simplest and clear definition of media literacy, there are still some scholars and educators that having a debate on how media literacy should be taught and defined. So, this conference, the Media Literacy National Leadership Conference, outlined 5 key concepts that must be considered while analyzing media message. Identify 5 essential concepts necessary for any analysis of media message. So first is the media message are constructed. So when we say that all media message is constructed, so we mean that media message is have been assembled by someone. So that someone could be single individual or organization. So the message they are conveyed in those media are created by those people who constructed it, and it was constructed based on their ideologies or ideas. Next, media message are produced within economic, social, political, historical, and aesthetic context. So media message has different contexts that convey an information for us to be knowledgeable about our economic. So media give us information about what is happening on our economy and society, politics. So nowadays, media is really into politics since election happened, and media gives us update about what is happening or what is happening on our election today. Also, media has historical context that tackles about history, like for example, what happened in this era, what are the changes happen through changes over of time. And also, media message has aesthetic context, which gives creativity and beauty context. Next is the interpretative meaning-making process involved in a message reception consists of an interaction between the reader, the text, and the culture. So, the process of creating media message should have interaction between the readers, the text, and the culture. So, it is important to know what is your reader's interest. So, because the information you will share will benefit to them. And also, because you are exchanging opinion on your readers, on your media message, you won't be prejudiced since the media, or since the topic is you both share it to each other and you both give an opinion about that topic. It is also important to understand the perspective of your topic in order to broaden the reach of your message. When you're creating media message, should be appropriate to your reader's culture. So you must understand their culture, for you to know, for you not to give information that is not about their culture, or for you to avoid misunderstanding and giving false information. Next is media has unique language characteristic which typify various forms, genre, and symbol system of communication. So each medium has its own language or grammar to be used or to convey meaning. In this context, language refers to the technical and symbolic elements that a professional may choose and utilize to express the ideas, information, and knowledge. They can use sounds, camera angles, symbols like rose for a romantic scene, or a foreboding sound for a thriller scenes, for them to express the genre of this video or this message or they give message through those symbols like rose and music. Next, media representation play a role in people's understanding of social reality. So media is a powerful social system, and it plays an important role on building a person's social sense of reality. So the media industry is one of the biggest large industries in the world. So media has a tremendous impact or influence on our everyday existence. So everything we see, we hear, we read about media give us understanding and other viewpoint. So these 5 concepts just want to boil down that the fact that the producer of a given media has intended to give meaning or information. But then, it's not just about the media itself. It's also about how people understand, how people interpret the information given by the media. It's also about the comprehension of the people and how they understand it. And that's all about my report of media literacy. And now, let's proceed to the second reporter. Thank you for listening.